Hey guys and girls, it's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. We have a Stratocaster on the bench today. We are putting in an upgrade of Seymour Duncan pickups. We're going to take out the humbuckers in the bottom, put the Seymour Duncan upgrades into it. Let's get to work. Remember, if you dig what I'm doing, I say it every time, like and subscribe. Let's get centered. Alright, looks like we're ready to roll. Yeah, we're going to put some Seymour Duncans in there, humbuckers. Nice upgrade. I like Seymour Duncan products. I say it over and over and over again. We're taking this cat out and we're putting that cat in. So the first thing we're going to do is de-string it. Now, I don't remember if we're restringing this guitar or not. Let me measure what's on here because, like I said, I don't remember if I'm supposed to be restringing it. I'm pretty sure we're going to reuse these strings. It does have locking tuners, which means I can save them. If they get in the way too much because if I'm gonna try to save them, they're just gonna dangle off the side of the bench. If they get in the way too much, I'm gonna take them off. I'm gonna take them off and replace them. I will not fight with strings. It's got 10s on it. Yeah, 46 to 10. They're regular 10s. I'm going to try to save them. I think I remember telling him that I was going to try to save these strings. If it gets to be too much of a hassle, I'm just going to cut them off and redo them. But we got to get this open and see what's going on in there. It does have a push pull. It's got a 5-way switch, so I'm going to see what's going on. Stand by while I de-string and unscrew the control plate pickguard. So we have two problems right off the bat. You'll notice that the Seymour Duncan only has two posts to hold the humbucker in position. The Fender has 1, 2, and 1. So we'll have to drill a hole right between these two guys right there to accept, just to mount the Seymour Duncan humbucker. That's the easiest part of this. The other part is I did a little research, and there's two different ways to wire this that I can see that I think is correct, but I'm pretty certain that I can just follow the wires exactly the same color that they come out of here, green, white, red, black, and bare, and wire them into the push-pull because they all go to the push-pull here and the ground goes to the center pot. And then we'll test it and see if it works. If it doesn't, then we have to start unsoldering it again and start all over because there's a second way to do it. Sometimes Seymour Duncan does not follow the same color scheme that manufacturers do, like Fender, or Gibson, or Ibanez, or whatever. There's not a specific wiring diagram for this application, but I'm pretty certain if I just take those off and put those on, we should be okay. Stand by. So we have the Seymour Duncan wired in. Excuse me, sorry. We have the Seymour Duncan wired in. We're going to test it. And just a simple test. I'm checking our volume. We're all the way down. Our coil split is working. all I did was unsolder. I still have the fender in the control plate. I'm going to take that out next, and then we have to drill a center hole to accept the Seymour Duncan, which only has, you know, only has 2 feet, where this one has 3 feet mount, 1 on one side and 2 on the other. But electronically, it's ready to roll. Pretty straightforward stuff, but really, really small soldering, and that's why I don't show it on camera. I did it off camera, but you see we tested it. We have the coil split. I can tell you that this pickup is a lot hotter than that one. Whether it's actually going to look the same in the guitar, that's yet to be seen, but let's pull this pickup out because everything is disconnected now, and see how our new one, it should look pretty much the same in there, but it's going to be a little tricky getting it in there because we're going to have to set it up like a Les Paul mount. The Fender has 2 mounts here. You can see them, 1, 2, and 1 single, where the Seymour Duncan only has 1 and 1, just like it was, as if it was going into a Les Paul. Don't know why they do that on the bass side, but yeah, they do, and we got to deal with it. So let's get the screws out and the springs. We're going to put these where we aren't going to get confused with the other ones. Get out of there. And the other one, and then this pickup will come right out. Yeah, there was quite a bit of work involved in, you know, desoldering and soldering, but you can't always put that on the video, and it doesn't translate well, and that's the reason why I generally don't do it. So there's the Fender pickup out, desoldered. The Seymour Duncan is in. I did not cut down the wire, the lead to it. I'm going to zip tie it and make it nice and tight. It's got a large cavity here, and it will take it because it's the bridge pickup. We have all of that room right there, so I should be able to double up the extra lead wire and zip tie it, and it'll be fine. It won't cause any kind of interference. Mounting is going to be fun. I am just going to drill a hole right in the middle in between to accept our pickup. Yeah. So let's do it. Always fun stuff. You never know what you're going to run into. Pretty interesting, you know, what one player to the next player to the next customer. I call them players, customers, whatever. Sorry, I'm a little off camera here. I've got drill bits over here. Let's see if we can't get a little more in the movie. Yeah. I don't know what size they are. I'm just going to go off the existing holes. That's a little large. And that's probably going to be a little small. That's the one we're going to go with. I don't want to make the hole too big. So I'm just going to eyeball it right in the middle between these other two. I suppose it's a black pick guard, of course. It couldn't be white, so I could just put a dot there, but let's see. Maybe a Sharpie would show up on there. I don't know. And of course, it's not going to show up, but I know where it needs to be. Right in the friggin' middle is where it needs to be. Now, as long as I don't drill my finger, it'll be all good. long as I don't drill my finger, we'll be good. Right in the middle. Let's see if our screws go in there. I don't know. Probably needs to be a little bigger. Yeah, it wants to be bigger. All right. You live and you learn. You live and you learn. I think we're going to be good there. I think we're going to be good there. Now the fun part is getting the pickup in there. Yahtzee. Probably should say Seymour Duncan on the bottom, I guess. Let's look in our Seymour Duncan box o' goodies and see if they gave us some hardware. They did. I love them for that. You gotta love them for that. Sorry if the volume is off today on my microphone. I don't think we need these humongous springs. Let me match up and see what they look like. I'm going to use the shorter springs that came out of it. I think those springs are too big. Yeah. And I'm wondering if these screws are the same size they usually are. No, I'm going to put the longer screws in and the shorter springs. Probably going to hate myself for trying that, but let's see. Let's just see. No, I don't. I know I'm going to hate myself for trying something different and mismatch, and I'm going to put the springs that Seymour sent us. I'm going to use the screws that Seymour sent us. I know longer springs are the biggest pain in the ass, but you want to be able to adjust that pickup later on. No, those springs are just way too long. I'm going to say Fender probably got it right. Get in there, you. You see how tricky it is? You got to get your spring on the screw, hold it, get it set on the pickup, and then get it started. Of course, without cross-threading it. And make sure your wires don't get in the way too much. I think we're going to be good like that. I think that configuration will work because we're going to have spring tension and pickup height adjustment. Line up and be happy. I think so. I think so. Just like so. It's actually a little easier doing this in a Les Paul than it is in this type, but get it pressed against there and then start driving it home. it will usually find where it needs to be. Just like that. Yeah, you need to be an octopus to do some of these little operations, and you need a couple of extra hands, which I don't have today. I think we're going to have plenty of adjustment. Yep, looks ugly as hell. Doesn't look like it's right, but it is. So here's the extra leads that I was talking about. I did not cut them down. Usually when I'm putting stuff together in a control cavity, I cut off and try to measure exactly or as close to exactly as I can, but we had some extra. I'm gonna just kind of zip tie them together. They'll be out of the way. They will not interfere. So stand by while I source out a zip tie. So yeah, a couple zip ties. Here we go. I did not have any in here. I had to go in the shop and get them. My other shop, the other side of the shop. Let's just get this so it's at least secure. Cut the excess off, and we'll be golden. There we go. That'll hold them out of the way. They're going to fit right down into this cavity down here. Right out of the way of everything else. Like, does it ever go right back together? No, never. But it will go back together. In fact, this pickup, this neck pickup, is the one that's the pain in the ass right now. It was a pain in the ass coming out. You gotta get it under the neck and into the cavity. Stand by. It's always something in the way. The neck pickup on this particular one likes to get in the way right there. Everything is set up. So once you get it all put back in there, before you go any further, test your work again. Test your work again. And that's pretty simple and easy to do. Just want to make sure all the pickups are working, all the electronics are working, because you had the whole thing apart, you know. Neck. Tone's working. Neck and middle. Yep. Middle only. Yep. Middle and bridge. And just bridge. Beautiful. And our tone is working. All right, so that's a quick way to check what's happening, making sure that nothing in moving, twisting, turning, even though you're as careful as you can possibly be, making sure that everything is doing what it's supposed to do. A million screws. I'm going to screw this back together and restring it off camera as usual, just to save a little time on the video, and we'll be right back. And we're going to test everything and see what it sounds like. Stand by. So we got everything installed. We're going to play it a little bit. Of course, regular. I need to check the setup on it, but only because the customer asked. But here's our switch. That's your coil splitter. So when this is split, now I don't have the pickup height set correctly. It's too far away, but when you have it split all by itself, it's almost like it's really mellow. We split between the center and the back pickup, the bridge pickup. It's got a really nice put together sound. But anyway, that's a Seymour Duncan pickup swap out with a coil splitter. It's okay. I don't know. I'm not sure if it was an upgrade or not. Get in the movie here. But it's working. It's a little odd. I don't know. I'm not sold on it yet. Could be the pole polarity is mixed up in the Seymour Duncan to the Fender wiring, but I doubt it. I think that's where you're at. So split, not split. It's Blackjack with 396 guitars, pickup swap, Seymour Duncan bridge pickup swap, and a Fender Stratocaster. We'll talk soon.